Hi guys, you're watching Motivational Medicos. My name is Dr. Naiba. I'm an MBBS doctor. Today I'll be telling you about the pros and cons of being a doctor. I am working as a doctor, as a house officer in gynae department in Pakistan. So today is first day of Eid. It's Saturday. It's around 11 a.m. My duty starts at 8. Today is a slow day because we all know it's a public holiday and people tend to avoid to come to the hospital on this day, especially on this day. Since I'm working in gynae department, so there will be too many patients to cover. Right now we have around 2 or 3 patients which will be discharged by the end of this day, hopefully. So yeah, it's a slow day. The OPD is not too hectic right now. And for those people who don't know what OPD is the clinic, and the wards that we are covering today is the floor rounds that we usually say. So being a doctor, you have to be too much motivated. Like, you have to be so dedicated to your work. You have to be so focused towards your main goal. Because a day will come in your life, like today, when you don't want to leave your family and you don't want to go to work and you want to spend the day off with your family. But here I am working as a doctor at a hospital on Eid day. So yeah, you have to be motivated. Like, the motivation level has to be too high. Most of the people think that medical had like too many pros, the doctor is very rich and all that stuff. So let me tell you one thing, that the doctors are severely underpaid. Like, the major one that are underpaid right now. I'm working as a house officer and God knows what type of pay I'm getting right now. Unless the prayers I get from a patient, there's nothing I'm getting right now. So yeah, you have to be motivated to work without a pay. One more thing I like to cover is, like, it's kind of a pro and con as well, because doctors have to study like throughout their lives. They have to attend conferences, they have to present cases, they have to get like the CME credit. CME credit is like a continuation of medical education. They have to get specific number of credits to renew their license and all that stuff. It's kind of a pro and it's kind of a con if you think like that, because you have to attend those conferences, you have to make up time for that. You instead of enjoying a vacation with your family, you're attending a conference. So in that way it's a con, but you're gaining a knowledge, so it's a pro as well. I think it's like, for me it's a pro. Another pro and con itself is of being a doctor is that since the pandemic arrived and everyone lost their jobs and some of the people are working from home, doctors are the only one, and the paramedics as well, are the only ones that are working in the hospital that doesn't lost their jobs, that are working 24/7 around the clock. In fact, their duties are becoming more tough. Just like me, I'm getting called like every other day. So yeah, you're working as a paramedic. Working in a pandemic is a blessing, because many of the people lost their jobs and it's so hard to maintain the economical balance for them to run a household for them. But for doctors, you have a secure job, you're working in a pandemic. But the con that most people think, that my family think, is like, I have the greater rate to get the greater number of chances to get infected with COVID. In fact, one of my colleagues get infected and like both of them doesn't know about it, they're infected, and when they test for IgG antibodies for COVID, they came back positive, and they were so shocked. Like, they didn't have a symptom, but they all were immune to COVID. So yeah, it's a plus point for them, but it's a con because they get infected over the day, over the time. So yeah, like, it's kind of a strange thing in its own way. That doesn't stop me from working. So people ask me why I became a doctor. I became a doctor because I love the problem solving part. People think that doctors are very bad at math, but I was the one that is actually good at math. So I like to solve different type of problems. I like to interact with people. I like to have a big social circle, and that's all covered in medical. You interact with your patient, you develop a social circle, you're like interacting with the paramedics, with the other doctors, with the staff nurses and everyone, and you develop a social circle, you develop the social skills, and you interact. There's a whole new level of family you're interacting with. Your patients are so kind, they're so generous. Like, I just love working around them. And the other thing is, like, the medical itself is a wonder. You just tend to discover more and more, like, throughout the day. With each and every patient, you are learning something new. So if you are just like me, if you want to solve a problem, and if you want to keep your mind motivated and busy towards something, so yeah, medical is the field for you.
Yeah.